Hello and welcome to The Secrets of Life. Here are your hosts, Nicole and Nikki. And today we are going to be talking about, drum roll please, Ascension symptoms. Ascension symptoms. Before we talk about Ascension symptoms, say that 3 times fast, I would like to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. Nikki, what are Ascension symptoms? What is that label that people tend to put on it?
So we are our souls in our human form. As we go through life, we start evolving and changing. We learn different lessons. We grow through different energetic phases in our life. And as we go through these energetic changes, we'll notice things around us. We'll get physical symptoms. We'll get relational symptoms where things might change quickly in certain relationships in our lives. There's also just energetic symptoms on a bigger scale, a collective scale, where things will start happening around us that everyone's also experiencing. So there's a bunch of different symptoms to different changes.
So let me back up real quick. Why do I want, first of all, what is Ascension? I think a lot of people label it oddly. They tend to think that it's one event. From my understanding and my research, I feel like you're always ascending. Essentially, they're talking about your frequency, correct?
Yes. Over time, from the beginning, all throughout life, we always grow. So when we grow energetically, we grow physically, we grow mentally, emotionally. And as you ascend, you're kind of changing your frequency through different ways. So
my frequency.
Might go through, yes, changing your frequency.
Okay.
Why do
I want to change my frequency?
So you want to change your frequency to, if you're stuck in the same area all the time, you're stuck in that same frequency, you're going to keep going through the same patterns over and over and over. I'm sure you might think about something going on in your life that's continuously happening that you might not like right now. So you want to kind of move.
So that's a pattern? It's
yes.
A pattern. Okay. All right. So if I'm going through stages of life and I seem to be stuck.
Yes.
Okay.
We all get stuck. It's not just one thing or one person, but yeah, we all get stuck in life in different things. We might have something from childhood, a situation with a friend, a situation with a parent that might keep replaying in different relationships in our current lover, or it could be your boss at work, or it could be
my lover,
friends that come in.
She's a girl, that would be a problem. Hello. Okay, that makes more sense. So essentially what you're saying is to ascend to that next level for you, right? So what are these why do I have symptoms? When I'm raising my frequency, why am I having symptoms? Is this astrological? Is this within my body? What's going on?
It's kind of all in and out of your body. So as you're moving to a different level, it could be sideways. It could be, sometimes we drop down in frequency. It's kind of like,
oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of how that.
You can't get out of your head, and you just start thinking negative thoughts. Like you're constantly going, "Oh man, I should have did this. I should have did that. I'm such a, this, that, and the other." And start not being kind to yourself. You end up dropping in frequency.
Yes.
And we and then also as you happen,
you could raise your frequency. That's always
you can raise your frequency, and then that would be that ascension symptom, right? Or not a symptom, but the ascension itself is constantly going. You're constantly raising yourself and trying to set a new bar, essentially. So I know I keep saying essentially because it's essential. Now, I find, at least myself, is that I react to things happening to me. I don't usually sit back and observe it. So is that more of an evolved space, or am I?
It's different for each person. Each person has their own growth, like their own kind of train that they take to moving forward.
I like that
Like for me, we're the opposite. So like for me, I like to see what's going on, and then I like to introspect as to why this pattern or the situation keeps popping up and why I would like to release it, why I have it.
So that might be a good look through when you're wondering what kind of symptoms you might possibly have. So what would be a symptom of your own ascension? What would be headaches, nausea, vomiting? Oh wait, that's WebMD. Death.
We've had a lot of different symptoms. Like you can get physical symptoms because your body's usually telling you something. I always look at Louise Hay is always the big one, but the different parts of your body and what they represent.
Louise Hay, who is that? I actually don't know who that is.
Oh, the author for, I believe it's called Heal Your Body.
Oh,
yeah. When you look up the, my foot is hurting on the like this side, it's because of this.
Oh, here's the spiritual reason for this happening.
Yes.
Okay.
There's that, and then if you're trying to break out of a situation like a pattern in a relationship, you might notice like you're working on moving forward in that, and you're trying to kind of release everything that's causing you to stay in this pattern. You might notice
sometimes
freaking out.
You're freaking out. Sometimes I end up with nightmares, or I'll notice that I feel exceptionally, I call it energetically hungover, because I don't really drink anymore. So it's like the feeling of being hungover, but you just feel heavy and like molasses feeling, like you're pushing through, and like you got this headache and you don't understand why you're aching, and some other things, muscle aches even, for no reason. If you're sitting there and go like, I didn't run a marathon, I didn't do anything special yesterday, why do I feel like I just went jogging 30 miles? That might also be a symptom. There's a whole slew of them, I think.
Plus we look at our subconscious wants to hold on to what it's used to. So like it's trying to keep it in there while you're also trying to release it. So you're kind of, it's a battle. So it's really, like we grow up and we learn things in a particular manner, and some of us more than others, but some of us like to have that same feeling in repeat. And even though we're thinking to ourselves, we want to change this, we still subconsciously on like a deeper level believe that it is helping us in some way. So we're trying to hold on to it because we're used to it being there. Even though it might be harming us, we might think it's helping us.
Those negative patterns, you mean?
Yes. So like that part's holding on, but then our conscious part's like, I want to get rid of this. So you're kind of like battling those two.
Oh, so that's the paradox, right?
Yes.
So how do you pull yourself out of those situations when you notice you're kind of getting stuck in the quicksand?
Oh, there's a lot of different ways.
Okay.
I've learned a lot of ways. I do theta.
What is
that's
theta? What is that?
That's going into the theta brainwave and working with your subconscious and changing your belief systems. And that is a smaller definition of it.
Okay. Oh, we'll revisit that in another episode. I think that deserves a whole episode for that one. What are some other ways to pull yourself out of being stuck? I know me, I have to sit after I react. I sit back and become more present with the situation. Go, okay, Nicole, what is the bigger picture here? Like I have to count to 10 and just like sit back and be like, okay, that was like example. I had a car accident, right? That almost happened to me. And I could have made a huge stink about it, which I was about to. I was just like, oh my God, da, 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 but it didn't touch me. I was like, you know what? This time I'm not going to react. So I just kept driving and just left it alone. The rest of the day was great. It was weird. It's like I didn't let it screw my whole day up.
You didn't hold on to that energy.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It is really thinking. I think thinking and imagination are two huge tools in bringing yourself out of your funk, especially. Kind of bringing you to that awareness of something good. So I think music does a great job doing that.
And binaural beats.
binaural beats, yes, and bringing you into a higher functioning frequency. And again, why do we want a higher frequency? What's the difference between the high and the low? We kind of jump gears, but
feel low, or would you like to feel high? No, not in that sense.
Positive, negative.
The frequency that you're in is the frequency that you attract. So I forget what that frequency scale is, but it'll tell you the different feelings and their frequencies.
Oh, the pure tones, right? The solfeggio scale.
There's that, and then there's like the feeling scale. Like at a lower frequency, like that's where like the anger lies, and like the.
Is there one that doesn't feel?
It's really good to feel in life, even though sometimes we don't want to.
Do I have to? Do I want to? All these emotions. So I was watching. Okay, so I think that sometimes that these ascension symptoms can also be. I know it's microcosm. Your inner is a reflection of the macrocosm, right? But I think that sometimes there are astrological events that give us opportunities. You know, you sit there and you kind of laugh, but in the same capacity, you have what the moon. It is a fact that the emergency rooms fill up heck of a lot more on full moons than they do any other day of the month. It's a fact. So if the moon can affect you the way that it does, imagine what the planets, a solar eclipse, you know, all these flares, there's solar flares happening right now that are just mounting one on top of the other. Imagine what that can do to your body. So, I mean, there's just something to think about. And apparently we've had 4 in the last 48 hours. And then on top of that, we had that, what is it, a solar eclipse, the new moon. and there's 4 planets that are aligned right now. This is Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Saturn are all aligned right now. So what is that doing to people?
It's doing a lot, and then they all have their own significance. So you're just having
Venus
like
is low.
one part of the house on the other. Like you're having the financials, you're having the relationship, you're having the career, like literally all just
hitting all 4 houses
together at the same time.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. You're having people that are sick and then not knowing why they're sick because there's a lot going on with.
Can you get sick as a symptom?
I believe you can. I know I have been sick and have worked on belief work, or like the things that I'm holding on to keep my frequency in certain places. You kind of look at what's going on around you and what's really frustrating you at the time and kind of look further into your illness. And I've worked on those beliefs that are kind of like just lingering there, that are creating the world around me. And I've seen it change and flip. Self-reflection.
Yes. That's a good point. What can we do to kind of, I guess you want to ground the energies. You want to ground yourself to kind of alleviate some of the excess craziness, right? Drink water.
Baths.
Salt baths.
In salt baths.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you ground for people who don't understand what grounding is? What is grounding and how do you ground?
Grounding is more like connecting back into the earth, because we are of, I don't want to say the sky, but like celestial beings that are on earth. So we're trying to stay grounded here instead of constantly going out there and like
trying to escape your body, your meat sack.
Yes, essentially. So we're trying to stay here. So we're trying to ground back into Mother Earth.
Oh, okay. So these ascension symptoms can affect that sometimes. I guess a good thing to keep tabs of is it could be grounding is a sort of medicine. Meditation is a medicine. Movement, exercise, dance is a medicine, and so is food. And you also studied herbalism too, right?
Yes. I studied herbalism and aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy. Oh, that's another big one. And those play a big role in grounding somebody and helping alleviate some symptoms. What can you do for headaches?
For headaches, you can work with, I always like lavender because it also helps with your stress. I've used chamomile for headaches. like chamomile tea,
Oh,
lavender
okay.
tea, or infusion in like an oil, and you can cook with it. I've used peppermint, like the back of my head, for headaches because I used to get migraines. So
Does it actually work? Does it help?
the back, yes, the back of your neck, like
Okay.
right at the base of your head, has helped immensely.
That's kind of cool.
Especially when you get migraines and you get really warm. Well, some people get warm. You get really warm, putting it down there. It's perfect.
Oh, really? When you put peppermint on there?
Yeah, at the base of your
Oh, I
base
didn't
of
know
your
that.
skull.
That's kind of neat. And or not. That's excellent information, actually. I didn't know that. And I would like to, before we close off this session, to talk about what active actions can we take to help with alleviating ascension symptoms. So like a tool or something to teach you to ground. So like I said, water before. We can also imagine, if you want to sit with me for a second, imagine, these are things that you don't have to be religious, and or you can use it and incorporate it into your religion of choice. It's not a religion, it's energy, right? So utilizing that, imagine your God, source, universal energy, whatever, your chi, whatever you like to consider it. And imagine coming from that, a golden tube of light coming down through your body, completely encompassing your body, going down through your body, all the way to the ground, to your feet, going down into the earth, grounding into the center of the earth and anchoring. And then imagine the earth's core energy coming up through you and meeting that golden tube of light halfway, right? You're in your solar plexus, you're right under your diaphragm, near your belly button, above your belly button, under your ribs, and they meet together, that yin yang, right? Above and below. So I call it Gaia, you can call it earth energy, with the highest vibrations, most positive intentions for your highest and greatest good only, and grounding and anchoring into you. And then sit with that and see how you feel. I think taking breath work helps, deep cyclical breaths, like through your nose, out your mouth. Also, another way is to perhaps say what you're thankful for. Maybe you're so stressed out and there's a lot of stuff going on and you just feel like you've had it up to here. Maybe you have kids. Mm-hmm. And you need to just, say thank you for being able to see, being able to hear, being able to walk, being able to cook, breathe, sing, dance, jump around for joy, whatever it is that you're grateful for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that's another way. Nikki, do you have any particular ways that you like to just kind of alleviate symptoms and take a breather, maybe ground yourself?
My favorite thing is a salt bath. And this is when I'm like exhausted and kind of, having kids too. Not wanting to do anything. Just going and putting salt in a bath. I make sure the bath is as warm as I possibly can stand it. And then just sitting in that and just allowing myself to soak that in. And staying in there as long as I can. Sometimes I fall asleep in there, I'm not gonna lie. And it's just the most like relaxing thing. Your body is all soft and you're like,
you can let it go,
but you're still flowy. It's
amazing. You let it go, right?
Yes, yeah. Releasing. And also sometimes it does help to have the intention of releasing as it's going down the drain when you're emptying the bathtub out.
I love that. I actually really like that. So let it go and go down the drain. It's no longer my problem. Adios. Can you do that with your kids sometimes? I'm just kidding. Kidding. I love my children. It's the constant knocking on the door while I'm trying to go to the bathroom. I don't like that. this was really enlightening, and I'm really grateful that we were able to start off our first show, and this is awesome. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below, because the comments definitely help boost our posts, and we're able to make more content for you to learn, to utilize the tools, and to be able to, carry on in your path, and maybe, perhaps, fingers crossed, alleviate some of your frustration, pain, and maybe give you a little bit of knowledge and background and understanding that might resonate. Nikki, do you have any other 2 cents?
I don't really have too much, but if anyone would like to comment with anything that they're interested in learning more about, or something that we can maybe talk more on, or bring someone in that might know more about it,
Yes.
I would really love that. We love learning more.
Oh, slide into her DMs.
Yes, that would be amazing.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see.
Bye-bye.
Bye.